Next on KCAL 9 News at 4, breaking news: a 7-year-old boy dies after getting caught in the crossfire of gang warfare.
Thousands of people line the streets of Los Angeles to celebrate the holiday in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
And a massive sinkhole swallows up a valley intersection and leaves dozens of families high and dry. Live, local, and late breaking.
The KCAL 9 News at 4 is next.
It's the Shoe Pavilion Boot Liquidation Sale. Save up to 80% of the...
How do you feel when you don't work out? How do you feel when you do? At 24 Hour Fitness, your certified personal trainer custom tailors a health and fitness program for you. You'll get all the support and guidance you need to get great results.
Call today and get 2 for 1 or 50% off for you. Call 1-800-204-2400.
It's the way we make you feel.
Want a ride?
Are you insured?
Yes.
By Survival?
No.
I can't take that ride.
Call Survival for the lowest auto insurance rates in California, guaranteed. Call 1-800-SURVIVAL now.
It's the Shoe Pavilion Boot Liquidation Sale. Save up to 80% of the top brands. Like this classic Doc Marten for men and women, elsewhere for $125, now just $39.99 at Shoe Pavilion. The Shoe Pavilion Boot Liquidation Sale on now.
Now, Sylvia Lopez, Dave Clark, and Henry DiCarlo with weather. You're watching KCAL 9 News at 4.
A day of celebration and remembrance. Thousands turn out to honor Dr. Martin Luther King on a national holiday dedicated to his legacy and his message of peace and equality. Good afternoon. I'm Dave Clark.
I'm Sylvia Lopez. Hello, everyone. We'll get to that story in just a moment, but first we have breaking news. We have just learned that a 7-year-old boy who was apparently the innocent victim of a drive-by shooting has died. Investigators say the shooting happened this morning in front of a home in Compton, a home KCAL 9 News has learned has been the scene of 2 similar shootings since the first of the year. We're told this latest incident began when 3 men in a white Ford Bronco rammed into a vehicle parked outside. The Bronco took off, then returned. Authorities say a shootout erupted. 1 bullet hit the child in the neck, and again, he did not survive the shooting. The suspects in the Bronco are still on the loose. We have crews on the scene, and we will bring you more information as soon as it becomes available.
And this is especially tragic that this shooting should happen on the day we remember the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Governor Davis and L.A. Mayor Jim Hahn were among the throngs of people at a parade honoring the late civil rights leader. Mark Coogan joining us live from the Crenshaw District with more on today's activities. Mark?
David, you'd hardly know there was a parade here on Martin Luther King Boulevard just 2 hours ago, but it was 3 hours long, quite a celebration, and it gave a lot of people a lot of things to think about. Martin Luther King's birthday holiday in Los Angeles brought out fans and elected officials and lots of people watching and thinking about the King legacy.
It means a lot because he gave his life to make things better for us, and we have to remember that. And we do remember that, and we will celebrate it until the day all of us die.
Stop the spread of HIV in the black community.
There were lots of groups supporting causes on this holiday honoring a murdered civil rights leader. HIV awareness drew a big contingent of marchers.
We don't want your racist war.
And much in evidence the general unease to outright opposition to war in Iraq.
It means that we can only settle our differences at the peace table. If Dr. Martin Luther King was here, he'd be in the forefront of the peace movement that's being reinvigorated.
They're not telling us exactly what the whole issue is about. And I think it's just about someone having, I don't know, power.
And how are race relations 35 years after Martin Luther King's assassination? Certainly not ideal, people thought, but a long way toward the better 35 years down the road.
Overall, they're pretty good. Everybody seems to be getting along with each other. A lot of things are opening up for everybody. So I think overall it's pretty good.
Now, after the parade was over, there have been some incidents of troublemaking, fistfights among some of the people going home. Some of them brought in the LAPD on horseback. We haven't heard from the police yet of any arrests. Also, one of the peace groups complained that it was kicked out of the parade by the LAPD, even though it had paid its $300 entry fee. Live in the Crenshaw area, Mark Coogan, CBS 2 News.
All right, Mark. President Bush also observed the King Day holiday by giving a speech at a predominantly black church. The president attended the First Baptist Church of Glenarden in Maryland with First Lady Laura Bush. He was introduced by the Reverend William Jones. Jones told the congregation no matter what they think about Mr. Bush, he is still the nation's leader. The group responded by giving the president a standing ovation.
As we remember the dream of Martin Luther King and remember his clear vision for a society that's equal and society full of justice, this society must remember the power of faith.
Last week, the president angered black groups by opposing the affirmative action admissions policy at the University of Michigan.
Well, here at home, police in Anaheim today say a father went on an attack, stabbing his wife and 2 of his 5 children. This afternoon, they are all in the hospital being treated for their wounds. Orange County reporter Michelle Geely is live in Anaheim with the very latest on the stabbing and more on what could have provoked it. Michelle?
What was it, police want to know, that set off this husband and father? According to police, he attempted to kill all 5 of his children and his wife by slitting their throats.
Exact same thing.
Okay, apparently that was the wrong tape there. There were 3 children who were uninjured, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. They are now in protective custody, and let's show you what happened here last night.
It's terrible. You can't see, I see in my eyes, I never forget this scene, you know. Everywhere, blood, 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 everywhere.
Harjinder Gill is haunted by the screams of children and the gashes inflicted on them and on their mother. It was about 11 o'clock last night when a woman at the Fairway Village Apartments in Anaheim shouted for help. Police say her husband, 29-year-old Gino Ramirez, had slit his wife's throat, as well as 2 of his children's.
There's no doubt that he was trying to kill his family. With the type of injuries that were inflicted upon them, there's no doubt that what he was trying to do was take their lives.
Sharon Christian lives steps away.
Through the backyard, I heard through the patio, just screaming from a woman, the type of screams, I mean, I've never heard before. And the yelling that he's killing us, he's going to stab my babies, he's killing my babies, he's killing me. And this went on for at least 4 minutes.
Christian, a registered nurse, knew she had to do something immediately. She ran toward the apartment and saw the mother with 3 massive neck wounds, holding twins in her arms along with a kitchen knife. 3 other youngsters in the home witnessed it all. When it was over, 3 family members had been brutally stabbed, an 8-year-old boy and girl and their mother. Gino Ramirez, their husband and father, suffered knife wounds as well, at least some self-inflicted. Authorities eventually got him to surrender. He was placed under arrest at Western Medical Center. His wife and injured children are hospitalized, and today detectives still have no idea what sent the unemployed Ramirez into such a rage. And again, a 2-year-old child and 2 1-year-olds, they are twins. They were uninjured. They are now in Orangewood Children's Home in protective custody. As for their father, it is anticipated he will be facing at least 3 charges of attempted murder. I'm Michelle Geely, live in Anaheim. Back to you in Los Angeles.
All right, Michelle. Police think they have in custody today the men responsible for a string of robberies in the San Fernando Valley. 3 men were taken into custody after a shootout with officers overnight. Police say the suspects were under surveillance by undercover officers. They watched them go into this supermarket in Reseda just before midnight. When police determined a robbery had taken place, they took off after the suspects. They stopped the vehicle a few blocks away, and that's when police say the suspects opened fire on officers. Police fired back. The suspects were hit but not seriously injured. No officers were hurt. Police think the suspects have committed at least 10 other supermarket robberies since late last year.
Well, emotions are running high today as the search for Lacey Peterson comes right here to Southern California. The hotel that hosted the new local search center is even getting threats. Laura McLaughlin joining us live. She's in Westwood now with the latest on that investigation. Laura?
Well, David, let me apologize. First of all, I can't hear you, so let me bring you up to date on what we know right now. From the beginning, December 24th, Lacey Peterson, a pregnant 8-month Lacey Peterson, disappears from her home in Modesto. Hasn't been seen since. Her husband, Scott, says he was on a boat trip that day all alone. As you might remember, last week there was a lot of media coverage here in LA because the search was going to come here to LA for her, here to the DoubleTree Hotel, in fact. But then on Friday, a spokesperson for the volunteer group actually decided to cancel that. They said the media circus that was surrounding it when the allegations came out that Scott Peterson may have allegedly been having an affair with a woman in Fresno, followed by a life insurance policy that had reportedly been taken on Lacey after she discovered she was pregnant. They say they canceled it because it was just going to be gathering more information around Scott versus looking for Lacey. Now, we can tell you that when Scott decided to go ahead with the search anyway yesterday on Sunday here in LA, that apparently upset some people who actually called the hotel today and threatened to no longer stay at any DoubleTree hotel, and who also said they were going to picket in front of the hotel. Now, we can tell you so far that has not happened, and hotel officials tell us they only let Scott Peterson hold the news conference here yesterday after getting the approval from Lacey's family. A couple of other developments today up north in Modesto. We can tell you that the volunteers actually began dismantling the volunteer center. They said the same reasons apply for canceling in the first place the search here this weekend. They say it is now too much of a media circus surrounding Scott and what he has or has not done versus the search for Lacey. We can also tell you sometime between Thursday and Sunday, Lacey and Scott Peterson's home was actually robbed. We're not sure what was taken, but police say they are looking into that and hope to announce a suspect or suspects soon. For now, we're live in Westwood. Laura McLaughlin, KCAL 9 News.
Laura, thank you. The search for another missing person continues this Monday afternoon. He's been on the lam for 3 weeks, but police may have a break now that a date rape defendant's car has been found in Santa Monica. We'll have the latest on that search.
Plus, fans of the Raiders Nation live up to their reputation with a rowdy celebration in the streets of Oakland on the way to the Super Bowl.
And we'll explain why Kobe Bryant may be passing out cigars at the Lakers game tonight. Much more to come. Don't go away.
Blood supplies have plummeted to near critical levels. Your blood is urgently needed. Call 1-800-GIVE-LIFE to schedule an appointment to donate blood. Together, we can save a life.
With my family, things have to move. So I get on with it. With Verizon Online DSL, I shop without the wait. Tour hotels before I book vacations. And since I can talk while I surf, I can download huge files for my client while still checking in with my assistant and getting emails with pictures. Piece of cake.
Isn't it time you and your kids get Verizon Online DSL and get on with it? It's super fast access to more web in less time. Now try it with a 30-day money-back guarantee and no activation fee. Call 1-877-540-3278 or visit us online today. And for a limited time, get a $50 rebate on a wired or wireless Linksys home network, so everyone in your home can experience super fast DSL at the same time.
So what are you waiting for? Get on with it with Verizon Online DSL.
Verizon. Make progress every day.
Presenting the tough Nissan Frontier 4x4 long bed.
The attorney of a fugitive rape suspect is speaking out today. He's urging his client to turn himself in. Andrew Luster is heir to the Max Factor Cosmetics fortune. He's been missing now for more than 2 weeks. Today, his lawyer spoke exclusively with KCAL 9 News in Santa Monica at the very same spot where authorities found his abandoned SUV yesterday. Luster disappeared mid-trial. He's accused of drugging and raping 3 women.
The case isn't even over yet. The jury's deliberating, so I would urge him to come back.
Luster could face life behind bars if he's convicted. The defense says the sex was consensual.
The The Raider Nation is ready for a road trip. They're already planning their tailgate parties this weekend at Super Bowl 37 in San Diego. The Silver and Black fan club has a reputation of wild support for their team, and last night, well, it was no exception. After the 41-24 win over the Titans yesterday, some fans built bonfires and a few others turned violent. Some windows were broken in cars and buildings near the Coliseum. Today, fans are making plans to head to San Diego. The matchup has an angle that will likely boost the hype that always surrounds the Super Bowl. When they meet the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Raiders will be going head-to-head with their former coach, John Gruden.
And in Washington State, a family is alive and well this afternoon after surviving nearly 2 days stranded in the snow. Search and rescue crews found the couple and their 1-year-old and 4-year-old daughters this morning. They're all said to be in good condition. Now, the family had been missing since Saturday. That's when they went to the Mount St. Helens area to play in the snow. Snowmobilers spotted the family's abandoned car. That discovery then set off a very intense air and ground search. The family had some water, they had food, blankets, and extra clothing. Apparently, they spent one night in the car.
Up next, we'll have sad news on the death of one of the best-known artists of the 20th century, a man known for his caricatures.
And one thing is for sure, you will want to avoid a busy intersection in the valley. It was swallowed up by a sinkhole today. We're live at the scene.
He knows what a woman likes to hear on an all-new fifth wheel.
Today at 4:30 on KCAL TV.
This young lady traveled from the Philippines to the United States.
A mail-order bride.
He had talked her into giving up her virginity.
Now he wants to send her back.
I told her it's just not going to work.
A landmark Judge Judy.
You don't take her to your bed and then return her.
Tonight at 6 on KCAL TV. Interest rates are lower than ever. How much can you save by refinancing? Call now and find out.
You've got the green light.
Greenlight gave me an incredible rate on a refi.
Here's today's great rate. Find out what you can save with no upfront costs or obligation. Call 866-66-FASTER.
I cut my 30-year mortgage to 15 years, and my payments remain about the same.
866-66-FASTER. You've got the green light.
I never know when I'll have an asthma attack.
Using my inhaler is embarrassing.
The Faces of Mild to Moderate Asthma. Is one of them yours? Doctors are conducting a clinical research study investigating an oral, steroid-free, non-inhaler medication that may relieve asthma symptoms. Non-smokers 18 to 70 diagnosed with persistent mild to moderate asthma for at least 6 months may be eligible. Call 877-STUDY-64. If eligible, you'll receive free study medication and related doctor visits.
Take a breath. Make the call.
You can store all this at Public Storage and pay just $1 for the first month's rent. You can store all this at Public Storage and still pay just $1 for the first month's rent. You can even store all this at Public Storage and still pay just $1 for the first month's rent. Call 1-800-44-STORE now. Offer ends soon.
With auto insurance specialists, it's easy to save.
I made one call and AIS did the search for me. With one call, they were able to find us the lowest rate absolutely possible.
They've been in business over 30 years and they saved me $400.
I saved $600. I saved $1,200.
And they were able to double my coverage and save me almost $1,000.
Thanks, AIS. Call AIS for your free rate comparison. Call in the next 20 minutes and get your free gas card with your rate comparison. Call 800-772-4AIS.
An intersection in Van Nuys that's normally clogged with cars at this hour is instead filled with workers. This afternoon, a huge water main broke, turning that area into a lake and creating a massive sinkhole. It happened where Saticoy and Haskell meet, and that's where our Josh Rubenstein is now live with the latest on the repair job that lies ahead. Josh?
Well, crews are working very hard behind me here to clean up this sinkhole here at the corner of Haskell and Saticoy. It's a coordinated effort between the DWP, the gas company, and the LA Department of Transportation. Basically what happened, you have a connector between those two pipes that you're looking at, these two lines. It burst, shooting water into this street.
Water spews from a huge sinkhole in Van Nuys. The water main break at around 2 this morning startled this neighborhood awake. Richard Clissett lives at the corner where the earth collapsed. He says it sounded like an explosion.
Everything was shaking. The things in the kitchen were rattling, and I woke up my wife. I said, earthquake. So she got up. We looked out the window, and we see all this water coming up from the ground.
DWP crews worked through the morning to shore up the side of the hole to prevent any more sinking. Traffic was shut down in the neighborhood to make way for a thick layer of mud that lined the streets and a river of water that rushed out of the collapse. Many residents in the area were without water overnight and into the morning. Johnny Gurley came outside to deal with the problem in his own way. So you have no water right now?
No. Since 6 o'clock this morning.
And you're just going to put this in the toilets in the house?
Yeah, flush the toilets.
Rescue crews that responded to the scene say it was a very dangerous situation. It could have been a whole lot worse if it were the middle of the day.
Clearly, somebody that was not informed could have drove through this like they're going through any amount of stormwater runoff. But we watched the hole develop, and it was a significant hole.
Pat and Abel Banvalos have lived in this neighborhood for more than 40 years. They can't believe the mess.
Sure glad I wasn't driving down this street when it happened.
Amazing, huh?
Oh, really? I understand that was put in 1949, the same year that our houses were built. So, it's old.
So the force of the water shooting through the pavement buckled this street here. You can see it shooting a crack through it. The task at hand this afternoon is clearing out all of this asphalt from the hole and trying to repair the pipe, of course. It's going to be quite some time before they actually get the street open. I'm told it could be as long as 4 days. We're live in Van Nuys. Josh Rubenstein, KCAL 9 News. Back to you.
Wow. Okay, Josh.
Boy,
big
that's
mess.
not good.
It's about the only water we'll be seeing, though, for a while. It's been pretty dry.
Yeah, well, Henry's here now to talk about the forecast. Yeah. That's true. It's going to be...
Very true. I mean, we're looking at least a week away, really, before we find any significant threat of rain. We could use a little rain, but you know what? The weather was great for the holiday weekend.
That's true.
So no complaints, I know. And really a very nice way to end that extended weekend for many of you. Great weather continuing, and we'll let you know what's in store for the week ahead. Coming up in just a few moments. However, let's get you started on your forecast and give you an idea of what's going on outside right now. Beautiful live shot. You know, we did have a few clouds out there this morning, even some morning fog, mainly along the coast, but at LAX, we're just seeing some hazy skies right now, and really not a bad way to end this weekend as sunshine pretty much reigns supreme throughout the Southland. Let's check in on some of those temperatures for you, give you an idea of what's going on right now. Well, we did hit a high of 68 today, and look at that, just where we should be. Overnight temperature was 55, so a few clouds this morning kept the temperatures up just a tad. And the sun set at 5:10 this evening, and it comes back up about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Downtown, 65, LAX at 62 degrees. John Wayne, you're looking at 64. 60 is pretty much the norm throughout the Southland right now. Here's a quick look at the radar picture. Yeah, we did have a little bit of moisture bubble up down to the south. Nothing really that caused any problems for us. And as we have that low that continues to make its way off towards the east, a very quick shot of that, we don't look for too much, maybe just a few clouds here and there along the coast beginning tonight with some fog developing this evening. 45 in Dana Point, 40 in Hemet, Palm Springs 53. Really no major problems as we look towards the week ahead, as we'll generally be in the upper 60s over the next couple of days and then finally see those temperatures warm up just a tad. 51 tonight in Big Bear, 74 for the overnight or tomorrow's high in Palm Springs. Now, here's that 5-day forecast. Well, as you mentioned, very dry across the board. We look for plenty of sunshine. The next couple of evenings and mornings, we will find that pesky fog out there. It does give way to afternoon sunshine, and plenty of sunshine for the week ahead. Yeah. Temperatures finally back above normal towards the latter part of the week. Look for low 70s. Great week weather-wise for January.
Enjoy it while you got it. Okay.
Thank you, Henry.
You're welcome.
Well, in Australia's capital city, 4 people are dead after devastating wildfires. 400 homes have been destroyed, and the danger isn't over yet. It is being called the worst natural disaster in the history of Canberra. The homes were just wiped out in just a matter of hours. Witnesses say it's a miracle more people weren't killed. This fire was fueled by drought conditions, high temperatures, and high winds. Now people in other areas around Canberra are being told they should be ready to evacuate. Many are angry about what they see as a slow response to the disaster. Government officials say they are investigating.
Al Hirschfeld, the king of caricature, died in his sleep in New York at the age of 99. Hirschfeld used pen and ink to capture some of the biggest stars of Broadway and Hollywood. He drew the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Ethel Merman, Woody Allen, and Jerry Seinfeld. He'd been at work as recently as Saturday, drawing a sketch of the Marx Brothers.
And veteran actor Richard Crenna, who died over the weekend, was remembered in Hollywood today. Flowers were placed on the actor's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The LA native rose to fame as a teenager back in the 1950s on two now classic sitcoms, Our Miss Brooks and The Real McCoy. But he's perhaps best known to younger moviegoers for his role as the Green Beret Colonel in First Blood and two Rambo sequels that starred Sylvester Stallone. Richard Crenna died of pancreatic cancer. He was 76 years old. Well, still ahead for you up next, and baby makes three. Kobe Bryant and his wife make some big news off the basketball court. We've got all the details of the littlest Laker.
It slices and it dices, and that's just part of what the new mandolin can do in your kitchen. TV Diner's next with that story.
Homeowners thinking about refinancing? Don't go back to square one with another 30-year program. Get ahead of the game. HMS Capital can remove years of payments from your existing mortgage with no application or appraisal fee and nothing added to your loan balance.
I'm Mark Tice, president of HMS Capital. Don't go back to square one with a 30-year home loan. Get ahead in the game and take advantage of our 25, 20, 15, and 10-year refinance programs.
Apply today. HMS Capital is an equal housing lender.
Hi, Travis.
Howdy, Miss Lily.
You know, Travis, I've been dying to ask you something.
What's that, Miss Lily?
What's going on down at Black Angus?
Well, you can get 2 thick and juicy half-pound prime rib dinners, share an appetizer, sampler platter, and a big mountain fudge cake. Dinner for 2 for just $34. That'll save you over 13 bucks.
I love it when you talk like that.
Black Angus.
You know what's great about getting older? You get good deals just about wherever you go. Like this place, I get coffee here for $1. Makes me look like a humongous tipper.
Presenting another benefit of having been around a while. Our Medicare Plus Choice HMO with no health plan premium in LA County.
Fruits is playing. I hear it's not very good. But even a bad movie's not so bad when it's only half price.
All the benefits of a Blue Shield 65 Plus HMO without the monthly health plan premiums.
This place is great. I do my shopping, and old guys like me get free home delivery. Now that's a deal.
It's just another advantage of being, well, mature. Call 800-894-5548 today and receive our free information kit.
Oh, look out, ladies.
That's 800-894-5548.
You've heard that less is more. It applies to Tony Zabica. She used to weigh 300 pounds. After Surgilite weight loss surgery, she's 160 pounds less.
I feel great.
Now, a new minimally invasive technique called laparoscopic surgery offers less scarring, less time in the hospital, less time recovering. If you'd like more information about less, call Surgilite toll-free at 1-800-782-LIGHT.
If I had to do it again, this is how I do it.
The TV Diner is brought to you every day by Smart & Final. Having the gang over for a big game bash? Smart & Final has everything you need to make sure your party really scores. Smart & Final, the smaller, faster warehouse store.
Lakers star Kobe Bryant missed practice this weekend, but he's not in trouble, folks. He spent most of the time in the hospital while his wife gave birth to their first baby. They had a little girl. He and his wife, Vanessa, named the child Natalia. But that doesn't mean he's getting any time off, though. Kobe's expected to play tonight at the Staples Center against the Clippers.
I'll be thinking about Natalia, though. Okay, congratulations, Kobe.
That's
Let's check in now to see what's ahead on the CBS 2 News at 4:30.
You know, they're in their new digs as well today. Here's Gretchen Carr and Drew Griffin. Good afternoon.
Why don't we do this in person? I don't know. Coming up just a couple of minutes over here on CBS 2 News at 4:30.
New developments this afternoon in the Andrew Luster case. CBS 2 News speaks exclusively to the fugitive's attorney. Details in a live report.
Plus, for women, find out why your medicine could actually make you attracted to certain types of men. We're going to explain that in Health Beat.
And we'll check out the fashion hits and the misses from the big Golden Globes Awards show.
It's all ahead right across the street here on CBS 2 News at 4:30. Back to you guys.
Right across the hall. Thanks, you two. Mario Martinoli's back in the kitchen with a look at a great time-saving device and some tips to show you how to make the most of a mandolin in today's TV Diner.
Today, from the kitchens of the TV Diner at the Art Institute of California in Los Angeles, I'm going to be using a mandolin. Now, you've heard about the musical instrument that's a mandolin, but you know, this is a culinary one. There are many on the market, and they basically look all the same. There's a stand that goes down to the bottom, of course, and then a slide with a blade. Now, the blade comes in a couple of different fashions, one that can be straight and another one that's corrugated. Now, there are many more than that, but we're just going to deal with these today. You know, if you need to cut one cucumber for yourself for a salad, that's pretty easy. Well, let's say you've got a group of 10 or 20 people coming over to the house. Now, that's a whole different story, and that's where a mandolin comes in. Here I have a cucumber in my hand. Now, what you need to do is basically take it and just chop off one side of the cucumber and literally go ahead and begin to slice the cucumber. You will see that they come off very, very easily with a minimum amount of effort. Now, the other thing you can do is you can also do it with tomatoes or onions. It's all the same. Now, a couple of points of safety. Normally, you would use a guard to do the very same things that I'm doing here. But because I want to show you how to accomplish that, I am not using the guard. But there's important things that you have to remember also. Number one, you want to find a sturdy mandolin, one that has got good construction. Now, they have them that go as low as $39 or $40, all the way up to $200 for the very professional variety. The one that I have here is about $100 and well worth every single penny. So the next time you need to do a lot of slicing, okay, or something that's fancy, look to a mandolin. It'll be music to your ears. I'm Mario Martinoli, and I'll see you next time from the kitchens of the TV Diner.
And for more food and dining tips from Mario, just log on to KCAL9.com and click on Mario.
Well, that'll do it for us. We know you have many choices for news. We thank you for choosing the KCAL 9 News.
And for more news right now, turn to CBS 2 News at 4:30. And don't forget more KCAL 9 News starting tonight at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye now.
Bye.